What is going on, guys? This is the MMA Complex. My name is Josh.
And I'm James.
It is January the 9th. It is a Wednesday evening here in Los Angeles. It gets darker a lot earlier now. I don't like it. What do you
You
think?
know, I love it, man.
It just feels like the day is so much shorter. It's only like
Yeah. Although,
five in
although like, I have to
the.
admit that it seems like it's getting darker later now.
Yeah, no, I think it's earlier. I think it's like by 4 or 5 o'clock. It's already dark.
Well, I think before it used to be around that time. I think now it gets dark around 6:30. No, or maybe I could
No,
maybe I'm wrong.
it's dark right. No, it's
Yeah,
dark right now.
I know.
It's dark right
Oh
now.
yeah, it's 5 4. It's
Yeah.
gonna be 6. Yeah,
It's
you're
gonna be
right.
6. Yeah, it's already almost done. I don't know. I like the days long. It just seems like I only have so much
To
time,
do.
and I like to be out, and sometimes like in the back and the
Mm.
sunlight, and it's just gone. It's like I only have so much time. That is super cold. Uh, Another episode. We did one this past. We released one Sunday morning, and then we're doing another one now. Kind of get more into swinging the things. The other one was kind of like we wanted to get one out uh, right soon for to recap the last events.
Right.
We have no events really this weekend, but we do have a lot of stuff in the news, so we'll get to that right away. Um, we haven't talked about Cain Velasquez yet. I mean, that's
No,
not the big story, but he's fighting
it's
Francis
important though.
Ngannou next month. It's in Phoenix. What do you think of his return? He seems he's 100% healthy. He's ready to come back, make another run. Um, I don't think Jones is really making a run at heavyweight anytime soon. Cormier's on his way out, so obviously they're good friends. They're not going to fight. Um, you think Cain can really? I think that he was your pick, right? Was he your pick to
Yeah,
regain the title?
yeah.
Um, how do you like the matchup though?
I think it's a favorable matchup for Kane.
Yeah.
Zingano's his wrestling sucks. I think I'm comfortable saying that, and his cardio isn't the best.
Yeah.
Like you saw him get tired, against Stipe,
Yeah.
and Stipe just wrestled him the whole time. I think Kane is a better wrestler than Stipe. I think he can
Hmm.
push the pace. I think as long as Kane doesn't stay that away from his punch power, I think he will and he can.
Yeah.
I think it's a winnable fight for him. I think he beats him fairly easily.
Yeah. I think he's definitely the favorite as long as he can avoid the heavy punches, much like um, Stipe did. The only thing is Francis he's so quick with his punches and he's so powerful that it's any splits any bad timing on Kane's part, it's like it's lights out.
Yeah.
It's
Kane has a pretty good chin though, and then
he does.
on the times that he's been knocked down, he recovers pretty quick.
Yes, yeah. I like the matchup. I think he's definitely going to be the favorite going into it. It's in Phoenix. It's his hometown. Um, I know he went to school in Phoenix, ASU, I think, right?
Yeah,
I like the matchup. I think it's dangerous. It's a dangerous fight for both fighters, but definitely for Kane, I think it's more of a favorable matchup. But I'm looking forward to it. We haven't really talked about his return. Um, do you think he can stay out of injuries away
I
and
think
actually build
so.
some momentum?
I think so. I think his back problem was a really issue, and then I think he recovered that. I mean, with that within the year, but then his wife had another kid.
Yeah,
I think a son, so he took another year to be a dad. Something that I
yeah,
think he can kind of relate to.
yeah, yeah.
Being a new father is not new,
It
but
takes a lot of time.
a new baby.
It still
Yeah,
takes a lot of time.
yeah, it does. So I think,
Yeah,
and then, yeah, I think he could. I think he can stay away from injury. I think AK as a whole, they kind of learned their lesson and not to push their fighters as hard.
yeah.
Um, and I think that he's been training with the WWE guys. I think he said himself that he wants to get into pro wrestling.
That'll be interesting. I don't know how he will do on the mic because he's not much of a talker.
Well, he said that he wants to have like a Paul Heyman be his mouthpiece, and he wants to wear. He said he wants to wear the luchador mask and
Yeah,
just stand there, with his arms crossed, and
yeah.
that
He wants to do a
Heyman.
luchador mask.
Yeah, he wants to do the intro.
I don't know
But
if
he
I
said
like that.
that he wants to do that, but he has to sit down and talk with the WWE guys
Yeah,
for a character. But he would like to wear the mask.
I think I'll be hard. It'll be hard for him to get away from the Kane
I mean,
aspect of it.
the tattoo is really
Yeah,
kind of gives it away.
yeah.
And once you're like a public figure like him, and when it works with guys that the public doesn't really
Doesn't
know.
really know.
But when you see that tattoo,
I think he can do it. A lot of guys did really well. Like even the Undertaker, or, people like that. A lot of guys did really well as long as they were really good in the ring and had some good storylines. They don't really need to talk all that
No.
much.
And I think another problem with the whole wearing a mask gimmick is that you know, his name needs to be promoted in WWE.
Yeah.
And I
And what
think,
what use are they going to get out of him?
yeah,
They can't
out of
promote his name.
some mysterious guy that wears a
Hmm.
mask, or I think
Yeah.
him without a mask. But he's serious about being a superstar in the future. He
It,
wants to fight and be a superstar at the same time, but
I hope
he's not
so.
sure.
I don't know about doing it both at the same time, but I hope he can do it. The
He's
only thing
committed to the cause.
the only thing that will hold him back is his body. That's really it. Like if his body can even take the punishment that pro wrestling dishes out.
Yeah,
Um, and since he has back issues, you obviously get tossed on your back a lot.
yeah.
It's gonna be tough for him. Um,
I didn't think about that. You're right.
yeah, and then it'll be interesting to have him a rematch like Brock,
Hmm.
or like a WrestleMania or something like that. Kane
Yeah,
versus Brock, the rematch.
yeah. That'd be crazy.
That'd be cool. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. I could see that happening within a couple of years because I don't see Kane fighting for all that much longer. I don't see his body holding up for that much longer in order for him to have a long, long career, like all the way to his 40s. Um, I think he'll probably call it quits closer to his 40s and then head over to WWE, and I think that'd be a good move for him.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I agree.
I,
That'd be crazy to. I
that'd be
mean, I
crazy.
MMA guys are going because DC kind of talked about it too.
And he's got. I think I could picture him going on the mic and being really serious and being that guy that you don't want to mess with, and having
Yeah,
that kind of persona, um, and having jokes here and there that people don't expect, and be a little bit playful.
yeah, and they can even like make him even more of a monster by just showing how the Beast
Yeah.
president, which is Brock Lesnar, showing how Kane, pretty much destroyed him, and they can kind of
Yeah.
make him a monster through that.
The only thing with him is that he's never really been a physically imposing person. You know what I mean? Like
His dad bod.
he's got a dad bod. Even in his best shape, he's got a dad bod. That's going to be his only drawback, really, aside from his physical injuries. But because like to have that menacing monster thing, you have to be really, really gigantic or extremely like chiseled and buff or whatever, and he's neither really.
Yeah, Brock appeared on Raw this past week, and he had a shirt on the whole time.
He's looking
He
deflated,
looked soft.
huh? Yeah, Gary. I wonder if he's gonna make the fight. That's gonna be interesting to see if he
He
even
doesn't look
makes
like
it.
the same person. He looks like soft and like a Pillsbury Doughboy
Because
almost.
I mean, how old is he now? Like in his 40s or 50s?
He usually comes out with showing his physique. He's wearing a cutoff shirt the whole
There's no
time.
way. Just get this one fight in and call it a day with the UFC and stick with pro
Yeah,
wrestling. Finish out your career.
yeah. I mean, you're getting paid way more
Yeah,
money.
way more money, and you don't get knocked out.
Yeah,
And it's
I
just
say, yeah, you're right. Do one fight and then go back to the
do
gym
one
and
fight.
fucking get all the chemicals you can in your body and
Yeah,
get buff again. And
because he's definitely not going to be able to perform at his highest abilities and the physical ability,
not in
peak.
today's UFC, not in
No,
today's
not in today's
heavyweight.
UFC. No
No,
way.
no, he can get away with that back where Ryan Couture was at the top of the game, at the top of the hill.
Yeah, and there
He can
wasn't
get away with
USADA.
that. But now with guys like Kane and Francis and Stipe, he can't compete with the top five. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
So,
I think he calls it a day after the Cormier fight if he even makes it that far. I mean, you look at their drug testing; they've missed a drug test, or they misplaced a drug test for him. So
that's a joke.
yeah, um, there's been a lot of drama with certain fighters: Colby Covington, Fabricio Verdum, guys that are asking to be released, not happy with Verdum's on suspension. It's on his own fault. He's obviously fighting to get released just to make a living. He's already 40, if not pushing 40, and he's his career is pretty much the peak is gone, is done.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's I don't know, he's asking for a release. He's obviously upset with the UFC and how things are going and the drug testing. He got popped, whatever. Um, so he's got issues. Colby Covington's got issues. This is a separate thing. Colby Covington, let's go on Colby Covington's story right now. He got passed up for the title shot. They're having Tyron Woodley fight Kamaru Usman at the UFC 235 in Vegas, which is a stack card. You feel bad for Kobe?
Not really.
No?
I think it's karma.
Yeah.
I think.
Because he is an interim title. It's like
I mean, yeah. I mean,
champ. It's
yeah. No, you're right. And in a perfect world, the interim champ has to fight the champ.
yeah,
It's common sense. But we're dealing with the UFC in 2019,
yeah,
and we know how Dana White is. And if you pass an opportunity up, they're gonna take away that interim title, strip you from that title, and make another fight soon. So, and he knows this. I mean, he's
yeah.
seen it happen to other fighters. I mean,
His side of the
he should
story
have.
was he couldn't fight in September when they wanted to have him fight. He had some minor surgery and it was too soon, like to get a really good training camp in. He wanted to fight later on in October, November. They didn't. They said they didn't. They gave him Darren Till. They gave Woodley Darren Till, and he said he was ready to fight in January. And now they're giving him Kamaru Usman to Woodley in February, and it's like that's where he's upset.
Yeah, that and Colby Covington was a guy that was waiting around for a title shot.
Hmm. And it looked like he was on good terms with the UFC for most of 2018,
Yeah,
going to the White
going to the
House
White
and all that
House
shit.
and yeah, and all that good stuff. But I mean, the UFC definitely dropped the ball. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest fight at welterweight that you can make because of all the drama with him and Tyron.
I think that's a fight that people want to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Why they want to do that, I don't
there
know.
was different polls out there than the people wanted to see that fight. It's, I mean, like you talk about a big payday for both fighters. Easy.
That's the fight.
That's a fight to make. They didn't do it for whatever reason. Kobe wanted to wait, and this is what happens when you wait and not take
Yeah,
an opportunity when it's given you. Now, is it fair? No, but I mean,
I
I
think.
think it bites him in the ass and all that shit he was talking.
Yeah, I think it's a bad move on the UFC's part. Not only just
Oh yeah,
passing up their interim title holder for a contender, number one contender, or second uh, contender, number two contender, but they not only that, but like again, it's the biggest fight they can make at welterweight right now, aside from the Darren Till one. That was the big one, but um, if people thought actually were thinking that was a little too soon for Darren Till.
I think so too.
Yeah. Well, now we definitely know it was a little too soon for Darren Till. But Colby Covington, I think, is a fight that everybody wants to see. It's a fight that everybody's looking to make, and I think it's the one fighter that I think Woodley has been waiting for. The one that can that
Make him a big
like
payday. Yeah,
yeah, that's his heel. He's always been the face. Now he's got like a perfect heel and some mega Trump loving, trash talking Colby Covington who can actually back it up. Um, I think it's a perfect storm, and you can have like a trilogy fight with those guys.
now I have an idea of why. This is not true at all, but this is my opinion. I think the reason why the UFC passed uh, Kobe is because I think they feel like it's a winnable fight for Tyron. I think the UFC, without them saying it, they didn't want Tyron as a champion. And I think Dana believes that Usman can beat Tyron, and so
Interesting.
they want that title off of Tyron on
Yeah.
someone else.
Interesting. Yeah. I
That
it
makes
could
sense.
yeah, maybe they want to finally just somehow take it away from him. I don't know what it is. To me, I actually think with Colby Covington's performance against RDA, I think he's a tougher fight for Woodley than Usman. I think Usman's a he didn't he hasn't impressed me in any of his performances really. He's gotten by, but they've been good matchups for him in a lot of ways, and like non wrestlers, and he just hasn't impressed me. Like Kobe impressed me against RDA. I don't know. He
Yeah,
like so. I in my mind, I think he would probably be a tougher matchup. But I'm not saying Usman's a no slouch. I think he can definitely probably beat Woodley. But I think Woodley beats Usman. I think he beats Usman.
but I think this can be a blessing in disguise for Kobe. I mean, there's no rush for title shot. Let those two guys fight it out.
Yeah,
And if Woodley wins, then you're next.
yeah,
Get a fight under your belt, and then hopefully win.
yeah,
And then there's no rush in him. He's young. I mean,
yeah,
he's so relevant because he's always talking shit.
yeah. You see his Instagram? You follow?
Yeah, it's very very entertaining.
Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah.
it's not a big deal. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, all this, you know, crying about it, it's not going to do
Mhm.
anything but good. I mean, deal with it. Deal with the loss. What are you gonna losing your title and just move on, and then
Yeah.
hopefully you can fight the next guy in line.
Yeah, you can chalk it up to that. Like, yeah, let's say Woodley beats Usman or Usman beats Woodley, and then you'll have Kobe and Usman there, and you can have two number one, number two contenders, and then they go at it, and they could just deny Woodley a title shot for a while, and
Yeah,
you know what I
but
mean.
if Woodley wins, and there's your
And there's
matchup.
your matchup. You can't deny him really anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's only one fight that he has to really wait for.
now. Do you think? I think he can. I think the trash talk he's doing, and he's doing a lot of it.
I think
Colby,
I think it's biting the ass.
it could bite him in the ass. I think it definitely could. But he can, since he's very he has this character that he's. I think it's a character that he's
Oh
really
yeah,
putting on.
definitely. Yeah.
I think yeah, he may be a Trump supporter, maybe, but I don't think he's as much as he's putting on. I think it's a big character for him. I think he's going that angle. He's going that route. He thought it was going to pay off for him. In a way, it did, and now it's kind of like backfire. And now he's not. It's backfiring. They're turning their back on him. Um, I think he can easily backtrack and be like, "Hey, I'm just being. This is my character. It's a character I was playing.
Mm.
I didn't mean it, Dana. You know, because saying some bad,
Yeah,
some trash
I
talk
don't see
against
him
Dana.
doing that.
No,
No,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he'll ever break kayfabe. I think I think he went from being a heel to a babyface. I think people are sympathizing with him now, and people because of his remarks with the UFC and Dana White. I think people love that and
Yeah,
are kind of behind him. So
yeah, yeah, and people aren't. He's not the only one that's going through that stuff with the UFC. A lot of people are. Um, but yeah, another person who is upset with the UFC, and I don't know if he's truly upset. He's not the one to let his feelings really be known. But like Jimmy Smith is not with the UFC anymore. He only signed a 1 year contract. Because a lot of guys, with that whole transition to 2019, weren't sure about where to go. So he didn't want. I think he took a gamble not re-signing him for multiple years. Um, and they chose not to re-sign with him. Uh, do you think you think he had some ill, like some, he took it to heart with the UFC, or you think he's okay with like, hey, it's his business, because he's out there saying that it is what it is kind of thing. But
I think
you never
so.
had
I
a guy like
think
Jimmy Smith. I don't see him talking trash.
no. I think he sees it as a business move. I
Hmm.
think he's not too worried about it because he has a home in Bellator forever. I think
Yeah,
Bellator is gonna welcome him back with open arms.
and Scott's already put out a
Um,
tweet saying come back.
yeah, come back. So he had his little venture with the UFC. He was
Yeah,
people
because
knew people knew of him now because he had that platform that he was performing on, and people are gonna follow him to Bellator. I think
yeah,
it works great with Bellator too.
yeah, Rogan really fought for him to get over there. I think it could either be money, maybe he was asking for a lot more, or it could be the UFC is looking to maybe. I think who was it? Maybe Luke Thomas. I think was saying this, stacking their commentary booths and their play by plays and all that stuff with ex fighters or current
Mm.
fighters. People that are like, instead of, I don't know, within, I guess within the sport, are known in some way, because Jimmy Smith is not necessarily known outside the hardcores. So he thinks they're going that route. I can see that they're gonna just stack it full of like Tyron Woodleys and Bispings and Eve
It's
Edwards.
unfortunate because I love Jimmy Smith. He's great.
Yeah, he's really good. I think he's really good. Dominic Cruz is really good. Paul Felder is really good. Rogan's always great. Um, DC's good.
And it,
There's a lot of guys on there. The guy who does it with Paul Felder, I like that team. Those two guys.
Anakin Felder
No, Felder and another guy. I forgot his name. He's like
or that British guy.
no. He's an American guy, but he's like he does the shows a lot with
Oh
Felder.
yeah
I don't know his name. He's kind of new.
yeah.
Those two together, I think, are really
Mm.
good. That guy reminds me of, like, he's like a younger, new Mike Goldberg. I don't know. It's weird. Um, but yeah, that's the whole thing going on with Jimmy Smith. I feel bad for him. He's gonna go to Bellator. I mean, hopefully he goes to Bellator.
Yeah,
That's
no,
his
he
home,
will.
or ONE FC. But I think ONE FC's got their people covered.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, there's a lot to go on that one. But we'll see what happens with Jimmy Smith. I'm sure he'll resign. I can even see him going with ONE. But they got that new TNT deal. So yeah, there's a lot else to cover. All right, one more thing on the Brock Lesnar um, fight. He's got to pay a $250,000 fine before he can even fight in Nevada. and they're looking to make the fight in Nevada. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of money to him, but do you see that as a deterrent for him making the fight?
I mean, to be honest, I don't even think he's gonna fight. To be honest, I think he's still in a contract with the WWE. He's their champion right now.
But he's shrinking his
It's
body. He's shrinking his body for a reason.
yeah. I don't know, man. They're coming towards WrestleMania. I mean, the Royal Rumble's this month.
Mhm.
After Royal Rumble is WrestleMania season.
Is he scheduled to wrestle at any one of those?
Yeah, he's scheduled to wrestle at the Rumble. He's headlining the Rumble.
I wonder if he's
Um,
like doing like little micro doses in between because to go completely off the juice and to still wrestle, maybe he's gonna have like quick matches. Maybe he's just gonna do like quick little
I mean, they're usually under 15 minutes anyway.
yeah,
But
like his body, the wearing like
yeah,
his body really gonna take that kind of a
I mean,
punishment.
he's doing Raw weekly, and he's gonna
Is
he
there
does the Rumble, and then he's also gonna do WrestleMania. So,
anything new going on with Ronda?
uh, people are starting to hate her.
Yeah.
People are booing her like crazy. I think Becky Lynch is their star, and it's like a Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think the direction with her is going to be her Becky Lynch and Ronda at WrestleMania.
Nice.
Potentially headline first women ever to headline WrestleMania.
They're,
Two women.
they're booing her, huh?
Oh, they
Like
hate Ronda.
clearly booing her.
They hate Ronda,
Hmm.
and she hates it too. You can tell she hates it.
I wonder if it wasn't planned for them to hate her, right?
No, people could scout behind Becky,
Yeah.
and they love that she was going against Ronda and talking shit about her on Twitter, and
I mean, she was talking like real
like real
shit.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they're like, oh, like they cleared it with each other, be like, hey, is this okay if I really like?
Yeah, she had to because I think Ronda can fucking destroy her.
Yeah, I know.
But I think Becky was at Connor's gym recently too.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Yeah, that's
interesting.
crazy.
One more. There's a fight announcement. Yeah, obviously we could talk about that 235 card because that was getting announced all week. That was that's a sick card that's shaping up. But look at this card. Let me see. Let me pull it up real quick. You have Jones and Anthony Smith headlining it. You have Woodley versus Usman. You have Cody Garbrandt versus Munoz. You have Lawler versus Ben Askren. Jeremy Stevens versus Nurmagomedov Sharipov, which is going to be that's a tough fight for him. You have Holly Holm versus Aspen Ladd. You have Ovase Prue versus Eric Sukrunov. I forgot his name. He's a Canadian
I
guy,
feel bad for Ashton Ladd.
right?
Ashton Ladd.
Yeah,
That's sad.
yeah. I
Getting
know.
murked.
I know, but she's undefeated, so I think she's undefeated. That's shaping up to be a really good card. They're
Oh,
stacking
man,
that
that's a
card.
stacked card.
Yeah, it's
I think it's to make it for the main event because the main event's kind of lackluster.
yeah.
I mean, who expects Anthony Smith to win that fight?
So it's in March?
March 2nd.
Is it March 2nd? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one they've been announcing fights for that card all week.
Man, that's a heavy card.
That is a heavy card.
That's
They announced one today, I believe, for UFC 237. Rose Namajunas against Jessica Andrade for the strawweight title. There's a return of Rose Namajunas following the whole bus incident with Connor. Tough matchup to return to after almost a year.
Jessica's no joke. I think it's a tough matchup, but I think I kind of bet against Rose.
Yeah.
I think Rose wins this fight, but it's a dangerous fight.
Mentally and physically, did she, aside from the bus incident, was she out for any particular reason? Any injuries? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think she's just that whole bus incident was kind of annoying.
It became annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like her like months had passed and she's still dealing with the trauma.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even towards her.
It wasn't even. I know.
Not just that, but she knew it was Conor McGregor. I mean, is Conor really going to attack her?
Yeah,
No.
it wasn't like some angry mob of like unknown.
I can see if it was like a terrorist attack
Yeah,
or something.
exactly.
But at some point during the bus incident, she knew who was yelling.
It was Connor.
Because Connor went to the window and it's like, I mean, at that point, why would you even feel? I wouldn't feel threatened. I'd be amused by the whole thing.
And she didn't even take like the brunt of the shrapnel or Like
Yeah,
she didn't have
and she went on
any
this
injuries.
she went on this traumatic therapy run, which is going to
Yeah,
therapy every day and talking about what happened, and so that was a bit annoying. But
I think yeah.
aside from that, and looking at the fight, I still pick Rose to win that fight.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be favored. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Andrade. It's a close fight. I think it's gonna be a close fight in the odds. Um, Andrade has been on a roll as of
This
late.
is a bigger fighter.
She's a big girl. She's a hard hitter. She's got a solid chin. She's a chin of a rock. She's got great top game, big ground game. She's not as I don't know. She's not as flashy as a Rose, maybe. But Rose is a little bit more calculated. She'll stay on the outside. She'll pick her shots.
It's
Um,
very
I,
technical.
yeah, a lot more technical than Andrade. I think that's the only way. That's the only thing I see going in her favor is that she's a little bit more technical. It might help if she can have a
And,
good game plan.
and fighting two fights with the former champ is a
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah, which Andrade lost to. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight. Um, Not sure at the long layoff, if mentally where she's at, if it's going to play a factor in the fact that Andrade has been on a roll and has been looked really, really, really good. We'll see. But that fight got announced. I thought that was interesting to have her come back. I'm not sure. I'm sure once she starts doing media, that's going to be a major topic. Like, where have you been? What's your mental state? You know, what's your relationship with the UFC? Are you still pursuing legal stuff?
I hope Connor doesn't get brought up, but I'm
It's
sure
going to
it
get brought up.
is.
Like, oh, yeah, for sure it is.
I'll just avoid that whole fight week with
Yeah,
her.
it's for sure gonna get brought up, and she's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm mentally, it was traumatic." Or I don't know. She's probably not gonna say anything. Um, yeah, I think it was a knock on her persona, her image took a little bit of a hit. I think people were sympathetic at first, and then like yourself, like us, like me especially, I got annoyed
Yeah,
as
because I defended
as
her
it
at
went on, it
first.
went on.
I defended her
Yeah,
when it happened.
which is for her being in that situation, yeah, it's completely understandable. But it's like,
She should get away. She should completely get rid of that thug nickname.
yeah, because
She is
yeah,
no thug.
yeah. So that was it. Those are a lot of the big stories over the week. A lot of matchups being announced. You guys probably seen them all. Um, but pretty much a lot of the 235 card, basically all the ones we just mentioned, all
Yeah.
got announced. Um, and then you have no fights this weekend. Very quiet weekend. Couple weeks following the new year. Next week we do have fights. Fights start back up next week. LFA one championship, and the UFC's first fight on ESPN Plus, and that's in Brooklyn against Cejudo and Dillashaw. So we'll be back next week to cover those fights. But until then, you guys have a good week. Go to MMAComplex.com.
Yeah, buy our shirts. Still, they're still up there on the site. Go to our iTunes page. You guys are listening on iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating. Maybe you don't mean it. Give us a 5-star rating anyway. It'll help the show get noticed. But yeah, you can follow us on social media. You can follow me on Twitter, MMA Complex James, MMA Complex Josh, and you can follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under one name, MMA Complex. So I'm excited for those two fights on ESPN. But until then, enjoy your week, and we'll see you guys next week.